Welcome back to Ignite. We're at day 2, and you've all come back for a second round. What a glutton for punishment you all are. That's okay. I promise to make this as interesting as possible as I can today. Thank you. Monica is gonna be putting the material in the chat for today. So welcome to day 2. How did day 1 go for all of you? Good. I see some nods, some thumbs up. Cynthia said I said it was good. Yeah, yeah, we go. Great. I'm loving it. Fantastic. For those who don't know me, my name is Maggie McDowell. I am the regional tech trainer for New England. And it's funny because I've been actually teaching Ignite for probably like 15 years at this point, which is so funny. And I love teaching Ignite. It is a great class. It's different every time I teach it, which is fantastic because the people are different. The people I teach it with are different, and everybody gets something different out of it. And the class has changed so many times over the years that it's just so interesting to see like all the new stuff that's in there and how things have changed over the years because real estate for the because I've been in for 20 years has changed drastically since I first started. Since the days of when this was like we had the internet 20 years ago, but we were still using books and doing advertisement and newspapers and things like that. So it is very different today, which is great. I am joined today by my friend Monica. Say hi, Monica.
Hello, hello. Good
Hello.
evening, everyone.
She
I'm
is
dropping the participation guide back in the chat again for those who just entered the room.
Thank you. She is monitoring the chat today. So throw your questions. Oh yeah, so in the chat, and just so you know, we will be posting all the recordings of these sessions on YouTube. Do you guys know the KW New England regional channel? Okay, well, we have a channel on YouTube, and we I love Cheryl's like, really? We're that big. We have a channel. So we have a channel on YouTube. We'll be throwing all the recordings up there. We just have to kind of go through it to make sure there's nothing in there that we can't show on YouTube. Occasionally, because we're showing if we show tech stuff, we're not allowed to show like the contacts and stuff in it, even if they're fake contacts. YouTube frowns against that. And we want to make sure it's clean. So we put up, you don't have to like sit through hours of silence and things like that. So once we get that all edited up, we'll throw that into our YouTube channel. So you can either A, watch it if you missed it, or B, watch it again if you need a refresher. There's some actual older playlists in there from the previous Ignites, which was done 2 years ago. I will say that the material has changed since those 2 years ago, which is kind of funny. Since the laws have changed and the rules have changed. So we have a different set there. So yeah. Today's name of the game is participation. This is a heck of a lot more fun when you guys participate. Otherwise, it's just me talking at you, which just gets boring. And I am trained to live through awkward silences. So if I ask a question and I don't get one, I will sit here till I get an answer. Nobody likes that. So the more you participate, the better. So the more cameras I can see on, let me see your lovely faces. I know it's late, and I really appreciate everybody's being here today. But yeah, if we all participate, this is going to go really, really well. So, is everybody ready to get started? All right, fantastic. Let me share my screen. Screens. Okay. Can you all see the slides?
We got you, Maggie. We can see
All
you.
right, fantastic. All right. This episode of Ignite is called Embrace Your Job, which I love. This is sort of trying to figure out what we do, how we can make it fun, our mindset, and what we are supposed to be doing as real estate agents. But before I start, I actually want to ask you guys, right? So, well, actually, before I start, I forget. Legal says hello. I always have to say this at the beginning. We want to make sure that we are following all TCPA guidelines and not breaking any rules and not contacting people when they have not given us permission to contact them. That goes for phone calls, emails, and text messages. Uh, these materials are for informational purposes only. So they don't predict anything or any of those things. It's just Keller Williams telling you that you want to make sure that you are following all the rules, and negotiation commissions are negotiable. We want to make sure that everybody is aware of that. So legal says hello. Oh God, there's still more. Wow, I remember the day this was one slide. It's 3 now. All right, so fair housing laws. We want to make sure we're not following any fair housing laws. And then the AI disclaimer is a new disclaimer that's been added to these. Anything generated by artificial intelligence should be reviewed for accuracy and reliability. That is very true. If any of you have attended my AI class, you will know that it's something I always talk about AI being incorrect sometimes. So to make sure it's good. All right. So let's start off by asking a few questions before we go through the course overview for today. All right. Did anybody, so yesterday you guys were sort of introduced to sort of what you need to start doing in terms of Ignite. So did any of you guys have any questions regarding the material from yesterday or last night, or anything that you may have done this week, today?
I do.
Sure, go for it.
So last night he referenced like scripts, and I've heard other people talk about scripts. So I'm just wondering where those scripts are. And
good question. So there are some, and we call them conversations now, just so you are aware. So those conversations, we actually are going to go over one of those conversations today, actually. And it's actually going to be the biggest and best conversation you will ever learn, because it is the one that you can use at any point in time for any checkup. And so as we kind of go through the sessions, you're going to learn more and more and more. And if you go actually through your book, there's some conversations in there. I think there's a whole bunch at the back too. So a lot of them are there. You're going to learn as you go, and we're going to be practicing actually today. One of those big ones, the big one in it. So great question. Cool. Any other questions? All right. So we'll go from there. Were you guys asked to get an accountability partner yesterday? No, not yet. Okay, well, we will talk about that today. So we'll make sure you guys leave with one today. All right. So embrace your job. All right. So what's the agenda for today? We are going to go over, and these are things you're going to leave with. You are going to be able to apply the 6 core competencies of business by the end of today. You're going to recognize your role as fiduciary for clients, and we're going to review the success system, right? So we're going to go through all of that stuff today. And basically, we're going to kind of go over what it means to sort of be a real estate agent, right? I mean, for those who are with me now and sort of paying attention, what part of real estate, like what part about being a real estate agent excites you? Why did you guys get into real estate?
it seemed fun, and I love interior design, and I love design, and I like people.
I like people. I hear that one a lot. I do. I hear I like people a lot. Um, sometimes you don't like people in this business, but for the most part we do, which is why. What else? What someone else can say? Why did they get into real estate?
Financial freedom.
Oh, I love that. That's great too. Both are fantastic. I like the fun thing about real estate is it's not a salary thing, so there's no cap, right? So what you put in is what you get out of real estate, which is super nice. For us salaried people, I feel like I work at all hours, and I have a cap. I can't go above it, even no matter how much more I work for my job. So, but with real estate, I can make more, right? I get referrals, I get all these things, right? There's so much more that I can do. And as much effort as I'm going to put in, I'm going to get out of it. That's great. I would also say that, having a career in real estate can be extremely rewarding. Like one of the things that I love to do is help, right? Being an agent gives me the opportunity to support someone in making some of the biggest decisions of their life, right? I get to build relationships with that's the people. I think that behind sort of big results of a successful real estate career are the daily activities and the habits, right? What you are going to learn in this class and what we do in this class and the homework is to help you establish habits. The reason why this class is every single day is because it establishes a habit, the habit of success, of doing the right things that are going to get you be successful in real estate. And it kind of starts with incorporating the 6 core competencies in your business, right? Which the 6 core competencies are these, right? Lead generate. One of the things I always say at Ignite, if you don't know the answer to a question, the answer is lead generate. It's always the answer. So it doesn't matter what the question is, the answer is always lead generate. Second, we're going to present to buyers and sellers and get agreements. Third, we're going to show buyers and sellers. We're going to show buyers and market sellers. 4, we're going to write and negotiate contracts. 5, we're going to coordinate the sale to closing. And 6, we are going to manage our money, which is really important. A lot of people forget about that part because we can help all we want, but we need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and how we manage our money as well. These 6 core principles here, we're going to go through all of this through Ignite. All the sessions that we go through sort of hit on one of these 6 principles, and we're going to deep dive into all of these in each of these sessions that we go through during these next couple of weeks, and we're going to build on each one as we go. Running a successful business involves engagement in all of these 6 things, right? So let's kind of go through them one by one just a little bit. So lead generation, right? Lead generation, like I said, is the answer to all the questions. If you have no leads, you have no business, right? If it's a reason why we focus on lead generation a lot in the beginning of Ignite, because it doesn't matter if you know how to do the business, right? All that stuff can be taught and learned, but you can't learn it if you don't have business to start with, right? And you'll learn that if you repeat things over and over and build your habits, that you're going to get really good at lead generation. It's going to lead to results. So part of what we're going to learn is lead generation. Capturing information is a big one. Capturing is about obtaining all of the information about people. One of the things I see a lot, especially with new agents, is people like to give out their business cards. Who here has a business card already? Right? Yep. So we give out business cards all the time. It's kind of like Pez dispensers. And I always say I almost think that a new agent shouldn't have a business card because we always forget to get the one thing we need, which is their information. We need to capture their information. One of my favorite lines is like, oh, you know what? I gave my last one away you know what, what's your cell phone number? Let me type that in and I can text you my information and you can text me back. Let me know who you are. Right? It's just a simple, like easy conversation that now I have someone's phone number that I didn't have before, and I got their information that way. So we're looking to capture as much information as we can about someone, their name, their phone number, email, home address, which is huge. And you wouldn't believe how many databases I see with no home addresses in them, which is kind of funny because we're in the business of real estate. So we want to make sure that, you know, any data that they're willing to give us, we can have. Why do you think that is?
Because they shared it with us.
Well, they share it with
Right.
us. Yep. But what does that information do for us?
Oh. Well, it allows us to keep in touch with them and connect with them.
Yep. It allows us to keep in touch with them, but it also allows us to build better relationships. Rod, you came unmuted. What you were going to say?
Oh no, I was just going to say what you just had.
Yeah. Yeah. It helps us build relationships, right? The more I know about someone, the better I can build that relationship, right? If I know they have kids or pets or whatever, like I can start having better interactions with them the more I know about, right? I can tailor my messages depending on the person if I know more about them. So capturing, converting is also another important skill of this number one, the core competency. Once we have that information, if we have leads, converting them into business is a big skill, right? Being able to turn that lead into something that's going to pan out for us as income later. And then, that's really important. So it's a skill that we're trying to learn a bit. So all three of those sort of fall under that one category, which is lead generate, capture, and convert to appointments. Does anybody have any questions regarding that first core competency? Cool. All right. Number 2 is present to buyers and sellers and get agreements, right? This is the skill of going on a buyer consultation, right? Or a seller's consultation where you present your documents and your consultation and which outlines the whole buying and selling process and shows the steps that you are going to assist either the buyer or seller in the whole process. It addresses where you address the concerns of the buyer and the seller regarding the process, regarding commission, regarding compensation, how the whole process works, right? This is where you set your expectations with the buyer and the seller. Why is setting expectations so big? Why do we set expectations?
To make sure that we build good relationships, right? If you set good expectations, then your perception is going to be more positive of you.
Yeah,
you're
I
gonna-
agree. Yeah, and if we can set expectations of how things work, Elizabeth, I see your hand up. Go ahead.
So we can deliver. So
We can
we
deliver,
and
yeah.
the promise over deliver.
Yeah, that's a big one. I like that one a lot. Yep. When we set expectations about the whole process, what it looks like, so everybody has sort of a preconceived notion of what buying and selling looks like. A buyer and a seller might have done it several times, but remember, even if you have a repeat buyer or a seller, most buyers and sellers haven't done so in somewhere between 8 and 10 years, right? They've already forgotten how the whole process works. So if we set expectations, they're less likely to be disappointed about how things work if we've set it ahead of time, right? So setting expectations for the outcome is huge for us. And learning how to present and answer all of their questions is it puts them at ease and makes the relationship that much stronger. All right. Number 3, which is showing buyers and market sellers, right? This is the funny part. I love this part because this is like what everybody thinks we get paid for. And we do this stuff and this is really important. But I think this is sort of this isn't the main skill that we have, but it is important. So showing buyers is bringing them around and showing them the houses that they want to see, and marketing for sellers is basically putting their listing up so that they can go ahead and sell it. And it's marketing it in the best possible light, right? Via the most channels, all that stuff. It is something we do. It's funny, that's what people think this is all we do, but I personally think that we make our money on number 4, which is write and negotiate contracts. I think this is why people need a buyer and a seller agent, because they need someone in their corner to help them negotiate the best price for them, and negotiate the terms that are going to work for them the most. I think this is the most important one for us, and I think we need to get this skill when we talk about what we do for people. This is something we need to really push upon to let people know that, hey, because of me, you're going to either buy this house for a good price, or you're going to sell this house for a good price, right? This is the biggest responsibility that we have as an agent, and it really is. It's where a lot of funny agents have a lot of anxiety about, because they have never done it before. But it really is I think the biggest core competencies that we have. And we're always looking for that win-win, right? The win-win or no deal, with the W there. I had a broker who used to say win-win or take them out, but I like the win-win or no deal a little better. All right. Number 5. Number 5 is coordinating the sale or closing. This is where our project management skills come to task, right? It's kind of funny. We are just one sort of portion, one piece of the entire puzzle of buying and selling a home, but we are the most important one. Because if it all falls apart, guess whose fault it is? It's ours. So we have to make sure everybody is doing their job, right? The mortgage person, the lawyer, right? The assessor, right? The whoever it is, the buyer, the seller, right? The other agent. We are the one who makes sure that everything gets done. So, and they get done on time, which is also very important. So this is a very good skill for us to have, which is project management. Make sure we're organized and that we have all of our dates in order and that everything happens on time so that we get to closing and everybody goes home happy. That is our sort of what we're trying to do at the end. Oops, sorry. Right. And last but not least is manage the money. This is actually a really good skill that I think a lot of people forget about, and I think this is what makes Keller Williams very unique. Is this is something that we talk about a lot, and because we deal with the whole agent, not just the skills of buying and selling, you got to know how to make yourself profitable, right? It's getting the deal all the way through, but it's also sort of knowing what to do with the paycheck you get, right? Knowing how to have a balanced budget, how to track your expenses, have a P&L, profit and loss statement, knowing how to put aside money how much money to put back into your business, how much to save for taxes, right? One of the big things that you guys sort of all have to know about, this is something that you should all, if you haven't already, does everybody here have an accountant yet for themselves? Or know of someone they can talk to eventually, right? We're all 1099 employees. So we're not employees, we're 1099 contractors, right? So we work for ourselves, which means we have a whole different tax structure than your normal salary. So we want to make sure that we're putting, 30% of our paycheck to the side to make sure that we can pay our taxes at the end of the, quarterly or at the end of the year. Knowing if I want to be able to put some of this aside to go ahead and get income property for myself, right? There's a lot of things to think about here for managing your money. We actually have a great class if you guys have not seen it yet. Matt Erdman teaches it. Monica, what's the name of Matt's class? Do you remember?
The wealthy agent.
That's
Let's
the
see if I can.
one.
Yeah, maybe I can drop that link right in the chat. Just a second.
Yeah, it's a great class because you know it's early for you guys. You guys are just starting, but it's not too early to start thinking about this stuff, right? We're here to build wealth, right? We're here to help others and all the other fun stuff too, but we're at the end of the game, right? We're trying to build wealth, right? And so knowing the right way to do it and not getting ourselves in trouble is huge. So starting to think about this stuff early is not a bad thing. So you know, it's something to start thinking about. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Any questions about the first 6 core competencies? All right. Ooh. Dee-dee-dee-dee.
I have a question about
Sure, Betty.
the accountant. When do you suggest to get an accountant after the first or before the first sale, or like?
I would start talking to them soon because it just, I mean, remember, like things that you might want to find out what you need to start tracking. Like, are you tracking your mileage? Are you making sure that you're keeping all your receipts for everything that you buy? Are you keeping track of all the, the monthly bills that you pay your office, right? Getting an idea of the stuff that you need to be tracking ahead of time is not a bad thing. So if you have somebody that you can speak to ahead of time, that's not a bad thing at all. I would say you don't have to wait for your first transaction to go ahead and find one, just to get like a preliminary, like, oh, this is the stuff I need to know.
Oh, I don't know who I would talk to about that. I don't know any accountants.
So Betty, you know what you should talk to? You should talk to your team leader. Your team leader more than likely, or your OP. Your I would say your team leader, your OP, or even an ALC member. They have lots of resources for you that they can point you in the right direction of somebody who can help. Believe it or not, I actually know several agents who are accountants as well. So, so you might even find someone in your office who you might be able to just have a nice conversation with. And I know a lot of times market centers will bring in somebody to come and talk. So maybe that's something you can talk to your team leader about, okay? All right. Okay. So, mindset matters. Mindset, I would say, is one of the big things that we don't talk about enough in real estate. It is, I know you talked about it a lot in day one. Does anybody remember what the 6 personal perspectives were from yesterday, or what some of them were? Anybody?
I have them
The
written
first
down.
All right,
Yeah, I
Ruth.
have, yeah.
All right, someone shout out the first one.
Commit to self-mastery.
Yeah, that's a good one. Then
80-20 principle.
love it. Next.
Move from E to P.
Great. After that. It's what you're doing now, actually.
Stay learning based. Stay
Yep.
curious.
Yep. Number 5.
Remove limiting beliefs.
Excellent. And last one.
Be accountable.
Excellent. These are the 6 personal perspectives are sort of perspectives to live by, quite honestly. We actually have a class, which I'm sure they talked about yesterday, called 6 personal perspectives. I teach this class actually. It's a great one to teach because it is such a mindset setter to get your mind in the right position, right, to do this job. You have to keep your mindset in real estate programmed to success. There's always going to be days where you don't feel like you accomplished anything. I mean, there's going to be days where you need to sort of pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right? And sort of keep on moving. There's going to be the days where you know, you're making your lead generation reach outs and like nothing's happening, or you're working real hard and nothing's happening. It's kind of like going to the gym, right? You're trying to lose weight and you need to have a reason to keep going. It really does help to have sort of a big why you're doing this, to keep it moving. Adopting a good mindset of and philosophy of contributing to the lives of others really helps. Focus on yourself and your end goal. Like, why are you doing this? You know, find the spark, find the reason why we all do this, because there are going to be days where you're just like, I don't feel like getting up to lead generate today. There's always going to be that. And so it does happen, but we have to go and do the activities, because if we don't, we're selling ourselves short. Does anybody know how long on average it takes to get a buyer to seller to sign a contract? Anybody want to take a guess?
I'm gonna say 15 days, but I don't know if that's right.
15. Okay. I mean, you're in the range. It takes 1 to 60 days from when you get a lead, depending on how much time, like depending on how much close they are to buying and selling, to convert a lead into a signed contract. So and then, right, once we have a signed contract, how long does it take for a transaction to happen from that signed contract? What do you guys think? And this is a buyer or seller agreement.
45 to 60 days.
Yeah, 30 to 60, it depends. So altogether, you sort of put that together, you know, it could be up to 90 days from when you last lead generated till you get a paycheck. So I always tell people the day you don't lead generate is the day you don't have a paycheck 90 days in the future. So that is why consistency is key. That is why we stress habit forming, right? And developing your skills, and that is why the answer is always lead generation. Because if we're not doing what we need to do, then we're missing out on what we need to keep ourselves going in the right direction. It's sort of, you know, everybody else in this world gets paid for a lot of well, most positions, they get paid right away upfront, right? In real estate, we don't get paid until the end. So we have to go through all of the work before we get paid, right? And so it takes some time. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything that we need to do. So it is why we stress, why we lead generate every day, build our database and our contacts every day, communicate with our database every day, commit to go on as many appointments as we can, and to practice our conversations so that we get better at it, so that when we have those conversations, we have a better conversion rate. Right? The sort of the quote from yesterday, anyone can do it, not everyone will. Will you? Right? Real estate is simple, it's just not easy. And I think that's really just something to remember. If everybody could do it, everybody would. I wish it was easy as it seems like on HGTV. Wouldn't it be cool if like you could just like go out there, see 3 houses and be done? Like, and everything's just done for you? I think it's pretty cool. It always boggles my mind every time I see that. Tangentially, one at the market center I was working at, goodness gracious, it had to have been like 8 years ago now. Did you guys know the Millionaire Real Estate Agent on HGTV? Anybody see that show? Yeah, he did an episode with us, with one of our agents there. So he came and filmed. Wicked nice guy, by the way. Super, super great. But it was so, like, everything was set up. Like they had the whole camera crew there. Like they made up every single thing. Like they had scripts for her and things like that. It was just crazy. It's definitely a scripted show. So, all right. So here's another quote from the Shift book, right? That Gary Keller has. to achieve your highest potential, these 6 core competencies must be done consistently and done well. Once again, more and more building habits. Building habits. All right. So that kind of talks. This closes up the first part, which is about the core competencies. What were your ahas from that first part?
Well, I'll just say that, getting the information, the name, phone number, email address, when, the part about building relationships. And to keep focused, it's all positive relationship. How can I help you versus, hey, getting a lead or, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love that you said that. One of my favorite things I like to say, especially to new agents, is when you go into lead generation with a good mindset, like it makes a difference how you talk to people, right? If I pick up the phone and call you, even if I know you, and say like, hey, do you want to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Like if I feel salesy, I'm gonna sound salesy, right? But if I pick up the phone and be like, hey, how can I help you today? Right? Like it's a completely different phone call. It comes from a different place inside of me. It sounds different. It comes across better, right? We don't have to be salesy. This is one of the biggest misconception about real estate is you don't have to be salesy to sell real estate. You don't have to be. So mindset really does matter when it comes to that. One more aha before we continue.
I like when you said about new agents shouldn't have business cards, because it makes perfect sense, because that's exactly what I did. It's like I'm not like a new agent. I've been an agent for 4 years, but I actually haven't sold any houses because I couldn't commit to training and stuff like that. So I'm basically a new agent, right? So that's exactly what I did. I gave my business card first, and they have my information, but I walk away and I don't have any information from them, and it's like, wow, that's an aha, because it's like that makes perfect sense. So I'm glad you said.
Yeah, and Betty, I can guarantee you are not alone. you and everybody else. Yeah, I mean, and I've seen it plenty of times, and it's just it is just like us, like, oh yeah, I want you to call me back. The problem is they never call us. We have to be the one to reach out to them to get that conversation started. So I love that you said that. It's fantastic.
I
Okay.
like when you said that my lead generation to generating today is what is going to pay me 90 days from today.
Yep.
So I think if we keep that in mind, it's going to be motivating.
It is motivating, isn't it? Like, oh yeah, I'm doing this because I want to get paid, right? So, yep, every day we don't do it, we don't get paid 90 days in the future. So we want to make sure that we are every day continuing our habit, even if we don't want to. So, all right. So let's see. We're going to move on to the second topic today, which is fiduciary versus functionary, right? Recognizing your role as fiduciary for our clients. This sort of harkens back to our real estate school days, where I'm sure you all saw the words fiduciary show up several times. And so, finding out what the difference is between the difference of fiduciary and functionary, right? And so how we learn this is sort of important, right? So let's imagine doing business with a company, for example, a car repair company that doesn't really care about your needs. They're just focusing on getting the job done and getting paid, right? They don't build a relationship with you. They just, or stay in touch after doing the job. They just sort of do the job and they get in, get out. Now, let's imagine it with a very different car repair company. This one listens to you. It anticipates your needs. It helps you make decisions. It educates you on the process, like acts as a partner in the process. It keeps you updated on the work and then follows up with you after the job to continue your business. Like that's the difference between fiduciary and functionary. The first company is functionary, right? They're just in there to in and out, nothing else. The second one, they are acting as your fiduciary. They're working with the person to get the job done, right? That is what we're trying to be. We're trying to be the fiduciary of the relationship. In the MREA, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, the Red Book, right? It labels the functionary as the one who in a specific task relationship with the clients, they do the job. Well, a fiduciary is one who not only does the task on the job, they also are in a high trust relationship with the clients and feel total responsibility for the outcome. This is really important in real estate because we're working on relationships. So it really is important to us. Why would a prospective buyer prefer to work with an agent who presents themselves as a fiduciary versus a functionary? Why do people want fiduciary?
I think a lot of people feel overwhelmed by the process, and anything that you might be really good at or an expert at that could help them buy or sell their house is going to be really attractive, I think, to most people.
Yeah, it's a much more pleasing experience, right? Like we always want to be felt like someone cares and about us, and it's the same thing. Like we're putting their interests ahead of others, right? Including our own sometimes. It's a win-win for everybody, right? If the transaction doesn't benefit the client, it's no deal. Right? We don't care about the outcome. We're not trying to make something happen just because we want a paycheck at the end. We want to make sure that it's good for everybody involved. It is a big deal. It's more important than ever in today's market to wear that badge of fiduciary, especially in a climate where just after we got some real bad press with the commission issues that I'm sure you all heard about, that we need to act as the fiduciary and be a big part of that relationship. And so we want to make sure that we're working with that. So let's talk about some examples. Yes, go ahead, Elizabeth.
I was gonna say they want to make sure that you earn your money. So that's why you better do, yeah.
We got to earn it, right? And the better job we do, the more likely they are to use us again or to recommend us to someone, right? We're always trying to deliver that 10 plus experience. A 10 plus experience is going to lead to repeat business and referral business. And so you should treat every deal like it's more than just one, because it really is. Every deal. So we're going to take a look at this, right? So we're going to look at each one of these, we're going to go back and look at the core competencies that we just talked about and relate them to being fiduciary. So in terms of number one, right, lead generate, capture, and convert to appointments. How can we be fiduciary in lead generation and converting to appointments? Any ideas?
Communicating efficiently.
Say that one more time. I heard communicating something.
Communicating efficiently and basically sharing knowledge with about the market and just the industry in general, educating them.
Yeah, I love that. Great, right? It's like sort of anticipating the needs of someone in your sphere, right? Building that relationship, right? Getting a close relationship. I love that. Elizabeth.
I was gonna say use judgment and intuition with dealing with leads and generating them and capture them. And there was something else, sorry. Be self-motivated. Initiative.
Self-motivated. Initiative. Okay, cool.
I don't know
Us-
how to raise my hand, but I would say know the local market that they're interested in. We heard yesterday, right? Know your metrics. So being able to ensure that they think of you as the expert and as someone who can be their fiduciary, understanding your relationship, making sure that you speak to what's important to them while knowing your metrics.
Love that. Yep. All of those are great. And all those are examples of being fiduciary in that lead generation sort of process with the people that we work with. So let's do the same for number 2 in present to buyers and sellers and get agreements. How does presenting to buyers and sellers, how are we being fiduciaries in that? Go ahead, Bruce.
I think for me that for all of these would be listen.
I love that.
Just overall give attention, be tentative to their needs, and just listen.
Oh, that's fantastic. Bruce, you said the magic word for all communications. Listening is key, right? It is knowing what they want. I love that. Really good. Yeah, listening.
I
and
do have a question on that. So
Sure, go ahead, Cynthia.
listening is great. And at what point, excuse me, at what point because I come from project management and used to like reflective listening, and I sum up what I heard from them.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
where does that come in? Like,
Well, I
you
mean,
know,
it's how you speak to someone, right? Like it shows you're listening if you sort of repeat back what they just said, right? So what I
Right.
hear, what I hear what you're saying is this, right? It's actually really great for objection handling too, right? So I hear you saying that you are a little concerned about spending too much money on my commission, right? Like those, like it's sort of repeating back to them saying, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Let me let me tell you why you're wrong. So like or
but I think it's a finer balance there, right? You know their objections, and I guess maybe I'm too quick to say, oh, I'm not saying I do this, but like it's that finer balance. When do you let them say everything? And then to kind of counterbalance their misconceptions, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you just listen. If you repeat back to them what they said, then you're showing that you're listening. I understand what you're saying. I totally get where you're coming from. Do you mind if I show you something that might change your mind? Do I have your permission to show you something that might change your mind on this? Or let me show you why it is like this way, right? Just slowly lead them towards the path of like, oh, I am the expert, right? And so here's where we're going, because you're going to get that all the time, like whether it's on pricing or whatever. Like people they have a thought in their mind, and you're the expert, right? You wouldn't perform brain surgery on yourself, right? That's why you're hiring me. Like those kinds of things. But it's just knowing how to sort of deal with that, and repeating back does show you're listening. So I do like that. All right. So show buyers and sellers, show buyers and market sellers, how will we be being fiduciaries during that?
Stay within their budget.
Yeah, I think I mean, that's around there, right? Advise them, right? To advise them on what kind of, money for what to offer or what to accept, right? Being that advisor in that advisory role is where our fiduciary comes in. Right, and negotiate contracts.
Be transparent.
100%. Yep, we always want to give them all the facts, everything, the good and the bad. They need to make informed decisions, right? And they're going to want our judgment too, right? Use sound judgment and intuition, right? When writing and negotiating to garner the best results for what they want, what they're looking for in the end, right? They are the ones that make the ultimate decision, but you can at least help them see all sides of the And last but not least, coordinate the sale to closing. How are we fiduciaries in that?
Make sure you have your checklist.
Right? Providing your expertise in how things go, right? Making sure that everything is done correctly and on time, right? Yep. How about making sure that we have trusted professionals, right? To work with them, good mortgage companies, good lawyers, right? If something goes wrong, having the right professionals to help them, like vendors are great here too. Lots of good ways that we can be good fiduciaries in here. All right. The last one is more for us than it is for with our clients, right? Due to the complexity of this one, you'll be responsible for explaining like, how this works for you, right? So, you can serve as fiduciary on this last core, by how you handle your finances, right? Would you trust someone with a high dollar purchase if they can't manage their own finances? Probably not, right? So we want to make sure that we can show that we're managing our own finances. It gives you validity, right? If we can manage our own finances as well. So financial security provides the freedom to be discerning about which real estate transactions you become involved in or not. That's going to be big later, knowing who to pick up and who not to pick up. There might be times you choose to decline a deal because it doesn't allow you to remain, high and higher integrity with yourself and your client. So being finding ways to show that, hey, almost be an exemplar with the manage your money for the 6 core competencies, and make sure that we're being fiduciaries the whole time. All right. So, fiduciary versus functionary. What do you guys think about that? What ahas did you get out of that one? I think you guys have already forgotten that I can sit in awkward silence for a long time. On 2 ahas.
Listen.
Listen. Good job, Alan. I like that one. Very good one. What else?
Disclosure.
Disclosure. Disclosure is very good. Yep, we need to disclose, right? That's part of being a fiduciary in the transaction, right? All right. Excellent. All right. All right, the daily success system, also known as your homework, your daily homework. So you're going to be introduced to your daily success system in the next section. It's basically part of your daily Ignite course. This is the part that's going to build your habits to successful business, right? And it gets you in the habit of lead generating. And so we're going to show you what this looks like. Because lead generating is the answer to all the questions, right? This is a nice quote. Nothing else about your business will have as big as an impact as if the numbers of leads you have. It's really true. Lead generation and lead follow-up are the most important priorities when you're running your business. You may feel uncomfortable doing it, right? Especially as a new agent. It feels that way this first couple of times you do it. And some people never get comfortable with it. But I think what I sort of talked about earlier, right? Feeling at ease when you're talking with people, coming from the point of contribution changes the way we look at lead generation, right? We have to change the way we think. The when we change the way we think, the things we look at change, right? And some of the ways that we help with this, right? One of the best ways to do this, to feel more comfortable with lead generation, is role playing and practicing with the most common conversations that you have. The more you can kind of have those conversations, the better at it you become, right? Especially when you're talking about just conversations, and when down the line when we talk about objection handling, knowing what to say leaves a lot of that anxiety. And sometimes you just have to pick up the phone and talk to people, right? Just talk about who they are and things that you're going to and build those relationships. Right? So accountable people achieve results others can only dream of. This is great. So in the first session, we just talked about the 6 personal perspectives, and the last one is accountability. The accountability one is huge. It's a crucial part for achieving your goals. Having someone help you with that part is also very helpful. We can all hold ourselves accountable to some degree. Some of us are better at it than others. It helps to have someone with you through that process. When you have someone to report your goals and to report to your progress on those goals, you gain more focus and motivation. Right? Think of it as sort of a process. It's difficult to maintain drive for doing all these things long term. But when you building those habits is tough, right? It takes 66 days to build a habit, believe it or not, in case you didn't know that, 66 days. And so getting through those 66 days is real tough unless you have some sort of partner in the whole thing. When you don't do someone, the only person, if you have no accountability partner, the only person you have to answer to is yourself. And sometimes it's a lot easier conversation to have than it is to disappoint somebody else. Accountability is also getting feedback and just sort of knowing where you are with the whole process. So choosing an accountability partner and having an accountability partner is super important. It helps you provide you need to have someone who can provide a safe place to share. Someone who's going to help you follow through with action items, listen and pay attention while the other person shares. You're going to set a frequency of checking in with each other. You're going to dig deep to find out why you do the things you do. You're going to respect each other in the process, create a commitment and stick to it. You have to be open to receiving feedback, and you want to give specific feedback, and you want to have other people's best interests at heart. I will say this too. If you are someone's accountability partner, so it's one thing to be the one being held accountable, but being an accountability partner is actually an important role, because there's 2 ways you can handle situations. You could be someone's friend, or you can help them achieve their goals. I think is sort of the thing there. I've in the past, people sometimes have asked me to be their accountability partner, and I'll be like, hey, if that's the case, I'm going to hold you accountable. Which means you may not like what I have to say, because I'd rather you achieve your goals than be your friend in that moment that you don't do something. I'd rather be the one who points out, hey, like, you're the one disappointing yourself, right? You're not going to be able to get to your goal because you didn't do what you said you were going to do. Let's work on making a commitment for the next time, right? If you're an accountability partner, make sure you're holding firm to their goals. And if they continue not to hit their goals, ask if they need to revisit them, because maybe their goal's not strong enough. Maybe their big why isn't strong enough to hit it. So it's really important, if you're an accountability partner, to make sure that you're doing all the things to help somebody hit their goals. And if you're the person who's being held accountable, don't get mad at the person holding you accountable either. They're doing it out of love, so for you and your goals. So don't get mad at them if they start holding your feet to the fire. That's what they're supposed to do. So it's sort of a give and a take with that.
I have a question regarding that.
Sure, go for it.
Can people be each other's accountability partner?
Yeah, you can. Absolutely. Yep. If you're cool with that, that is not a problem. And so it's one of those things where it's okay to choose who you want. We're gonna go through a short exercise today where we're gonna pair you guys up and you're gonna do a little exercise. You don't have to keep that person as your accountability partner, it doesn't matter. You can, right? Who you're paired up with. I'm a big proponent of choosing someone you don't want to disappoint. So when I first started in real estate, my accountability partner was my dad because he was like the one guy I didn't want to disappoint. Like I definitely don't want to disappoint my dad. And he was a good accountability partner, almost too good. I eventually moved to somebody else, but the pressure was just too much. But it was a good start because I didn't want to disappoint him, right? So like I always find it's always good to pick someone like that. So it does help a little bit. Okay. We're going to partner up. Okay. Did you guys hold on one second before we do this exercise? I just want to make sure you guys did this last week, because if you didn't, there's no point in doing this. So hold up. Or not last week, yesterday. Did you guys look at the success system yesterday at all? Yes.
I was upset yesterday. What
Okay.
happened?
Anybody who was here, did you look at the success system yesterday? Yay or nay? I see Bruce looking through his notes. He might be able to tell me.
I don't think so.
Okay. So
No.
we're going to skip this particular thing because it's no point having you hold somebody else accountable to something that you didn't learn. So we'll just move forward with that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to basically, I'm going to tell you guys that I would like in the next couple of days to find an accountability partner, right? So find someone, whether it's somebody here that you meet on when we do breakouts or things, or someone in your office, somebody you know. I want you to find one. All right, that's like your number one homework for I would say the week. I'll give you guys a couple of days so to get you guys there.
Can we use our productivity coach?
You can use your productivity coach. Productivity coach should be an accountability partner.
Yeah,
So,
she is already. Yes.
good. All right. Good job, Michelle. Yep, that's a great choice. That is part of their job to hold you accountable. So if they're not, you tell them otherwise.
No, they're good.
Okay, good. Who's yours, Michelle?
It's Jenny Davis.
Okay, what market center is that out of?
The Bedford one.
Bedford. Okay, yeah, good. I love that market center.
We have a good group.
You do. All right. Okay. So let's talk about the Success Daily Tracker, right? So the success system. So this is your homework you were supposed to do every single day.
Actually, he did cover that.
Okay, you guys all lied to me. Whatever. We'll just continue. Well, it's good. It made an impression on all of you. That's fantastic. So, all right. This is your habit building. So this is what you're supposed to be doing every single day. And that is to have 10 conversations, add 10 people to your database, do 10 handwritten notes, do the 10-5-1 in social media, and any sort of enrichment. So any extra activities that you get or anything else that you want to do. Some of that enrichment is maybe market analysis or things along those lines. And we're going to focus on the first 3 today. But I do want to mention this, right? Who here is part-time? Is that like everybody on the call or most people on the call?
I am.
Yeah.
Yes, I am too.
Okay. So
Yep.
Yep, Andrew, got it. Yep. So I want to point this out for my part-timers in the room. 10 of everything is really hard to do when you're a part-timer. I'm not looking for 10 every day from you guys, right? That's not what we're looking for. And to be fair, if you guys are new at this, picking up the phone and having 10 conversations, even if you are full-time, is tough to do. That's tough, right? What I want you to do is I want you to pick a number for you. And if you do any of it, I don't care if it's 1, right? Do the 1. Just do 1, do 2, do what you can, right? Especially my part-timers, a full-time person has 4 hours to devote to lead generation. You guys don't, right? You have maybe an hour, maybe 2, depends on where you can stick it, right? That's okay. That's part of what we do. And so you're going to have less numbers than these 10. So don't feel bad if you don't hit the 10. You can feel bad if you don't do anything. All right. I give you permission to feel bad about yourself if you don't do anything. Okay. But you should do something. So whatever that number is to you, whether it's 5, 3, like at the very beginning, work up to it, right? If you've never picked up the phone and done a lead generation phone call, do 1 tomorrow, right? And then 2 the next day, and then 3 the next day, right? Up to where you get to a point. Do something every day. All right. It's going to get you more acclimatized to doing those things and make you feel better. I promise you guys will not die when you do lead generation. I know it feels like that sometimes. You will be back for another phone call. Trust me, I've done a ton of ignites. No one has died in any of my classes. We've come close, but no one's died. So I want you to sort of get to know that. All right. Don't feel bad about not doing 10, but do something. All right. I hope that is that cool with everybody? We good with that? All right. Excellent. Oh, all right. Oh, okay. We are flying through today's activities, which is fine. We're good. We're gonna do some role play today, which is great. My favorite part. All right. So before we move on to sort of the role playing and the fun stuff and the scripts, if you guys wouldn't mind doing the evaluation for today's class, I would appreciate it. Especially for me. I am actually working on my KW University certification. I need all the certificates I can get, the surveys I can get. The more the merrier. If you guys could do that for me, I would be greatly appreciated. The event type is virtual. It's a regional event in this case. The instructor is me all day. And then the course is Ignite, Embrace Your Real Estate, your job, real estate expert. And so I'll give you all a second to do that before we continue.
That's with the QR code from the phone, right?
Yeah, you can use the QR code from the phone if you want to scan it with your phone, or you can open up your browser and go to kwueval.com. Either one of those will work for that. A lot of you guys are on your phone, your computer now.
I'm trying to open up my browser and see it.
And if you just want to take a picture to look at it to do it later, I would appreciate that too. That's fine too. I'm not gonna hold it up for too much longer. All right. Guys, just a quick thing. Do you guys know what KW Cares is? Have you guys heard of KW Cares? Raise your hand if you. I got Alan's like, meh, maybe a little bit.
I don't know how to raise my hand, but yes.
All right,
we heard about it a lot yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, good. All right, good. Yeah. So KW Cares is actually a great. it sort of shows KW culture. It's literally what we are all about. What it is it's a charity, a 501c3 charity nonprofit organization that's dedicated to helping KW associates and their immediate family. If something happens, immediate hardship, whatever, they do emergency grants, they do grants to help people out who are really struggling. I have seen it work firsthand with no less than 4 different people in the market centers I have worked for. I had an agent whose basement was destroyed by flooding. They gave emergency help. Most recently, unfortunately, one of my agents, who was a very dear friend of mine, passed away from cancer, and they took care of all the funeral expenses for the family. It was mind-boggling to me. They are first on the scene. We have trucks that roll out to all the natural disasters, like the unfortunate flooding that happened in Texas and in North Carolina just had some flooding. So it really is like in culture and action, and it does work. So I always want to push this. When you do a transaction, you will always see a spot to donate for KW Cares. Whether it's $5, $10, if everybody donated $5, they would have more than enough money. So in all the transactions we do. So please help out. It is something that really does, and it's near and dear to my heart because I've seen it happen. I've seen it work firsthand. We also have KW Next Gen. This is a program that helps empower the next generation to become entrepreneurs. They do really good work. It's just also something that we can donate to. It is also a charity. I can't wait to. My kiddo is big enough to send her off to Quantum Leap and ready to start moving in the right direction. So, yeah. All right. We'll move on from there. Okay. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. How do you think that relates to our daily homework?
Well, we said we were going to do specific amount of items each day. So that's measured.
Correct. Right. And if we don't track what we do, how do we know what we did? Right. So everything we do, we should track. Using, whether it's, I don't care if you're using a piece of paper or using the command system to track what you do, make sure you're tracking it. Track the phone calls you make, track the activities you do, because you'll see the success. You'll see the activities lead to success, right? And you'll be able to track what works and what doesn't work. So always keep track of everything that you do. You want to make sure that you are tracking everything. And the cool thing is with something like command is every time you put in an activity or you put in a phone call or whatever, it's tracking all that information so you can go back and look at detailed reports of your business and see what's working and what's not. You can be able to begin to see correlations of activity and production. So make sure you're tracking everything that you are doing. It's also good to know that, like, hey, the stuff that you're doing is leading to something. So track. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Betty.
Yeah, I have a question. So
yes.
You said it's KW Worldwide. What was the KW for the
For which one?
For the evaluation?
KWEval, KWUEval.com. KWUEval.
No, I'm talking about where it says I'm actually in evaluation. It said your region, and then the second one says event type. It says
our region is New England.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the course name is
Ignite. And it's the second session, so it's yeah. All right. Okay, I think it was Cynthia who asked about those scripts.
Yes, it was.
All right, so here is the first and the best script you are going to learn, and that is the Ford conversation. The Ford conversation. Because the best thing is it's a conversation, and you can have it with anybody, right? So the first activity of our daily success tracker is to engage in conversations with the people that we know daily. And you know, what the heck should I say? Right? Like we get that a lot. And so, the Ford conversation is the best conversation that you can have. So Ford, someone want to read out what Ford stands for?
Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams.
Awesome. Thank you. And it works as a conversation method because it puts the focus on the other person. It shows that you care about the person, and it puts the other person at ease, right? You're having a natural conversation. Almost every conversation we normally have goes with this. The it is, and we can elaborate on any of these questions, right? So, what are some questions we could ask our sphere about their family?
What camps are your kids in over the summer?
Yep, love it. Great. How are the kids doing? Are they in camp? Great. Love that question.
Do you have any kids?
Do you have any kids? Right? Let me give
Yes.
you a yeah, that's a good one. I like that. By the way, if you know someone has kids, and you're not sure their names or how many they have, a good conversation for that is, hey, I forget what age are your kids again? And they'll be like, oh, Adam is 3 and Isabella is 8, right? It's a nice little trick to getting that. I learned that off a job producer. I was practicing with the other day. I was like, oh my god, that's so good. He's his name's Paul Corey, and Paul and I have been friends for a long time, and we used to do Ignite class together, and that was one of the scripts I learned from one of our sessions together. Yep. Okay, what can we ask about occupation?
We can ask if they have any time off coming up for vacation or how things are going.
Yep. I mean, that almost leans into recreation a little bit, but yeah. Go ahead, Andrew.
Most careers have a cycle to them, so you could ask like, what are your peak times? What does that look like?
Yep. You could do like, what does that look like for you? Love that. Cynthia, I saw you unmute.
Yeah, so I like that idea. So is summer a busy time for you? Or, like with work?
Yep. That's good. I like that. Yep. All sorts of good things. If you know a little bit about their job, right? Like, oh, how is your job at blah 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 going, right? Just quick questions along those lines. By the way, this all leads to, by the way, making nice notes in your contact record, right? There are a lot of people in your database. If you can remember everything about 200 people, you are a better person than I am. So you need to make notes about everything so you can go back and read, right? So if you know someone just did something, you can reference it the next time you talk to someone, right? Because you're never going to remember everything about every single person, and by keeping those notes, it's gonna show that you care, or at least seem like you do. So keeping those notes are very important. So everything, like, this is one of the reasons why we try to get as much information as a person as we can for these conversations, right? It's just that much more personal. All right, recreation. What can we ask about recreations? Someone was very close before, something about vacations.
What are your plans for the summer?
Mm-hmm. Love it. Good. That's a good one. And how about dreams?
I don't know, what just comes to mind is what's your dream home? But
I mean, you can go with that direction, right? Have you ever thought about getting a second home or a summer home or house on the lake or something like that,
right,
investment
but that's
property?
and pinholing. I'm a little
Mm-hmm. Or like that, that dream vacation that you've always wanted to go on, retirement. That should be everybody's dream, to be fair, right? Um, there is so much that we can ask regarding all of these four. The more you know about a person, the easier this conversation becomes, especially when you have your notes in front of you. There are some best practices with this. It's not an interview or an interrogation, right? We're not trying to get all this out. This is a two-way dialogue. We are uh, stopping and listening to the answer. Bruce, that's you. Stop and listen to the answers that they have, right? We don't want to like jump to the next one if it's something important for us to like to kind of take note of, right? Saying like, oh, how's that job? Well, I just got laid off. Like, we're not gonna be like, oh, great, what are you doing for the summer? Right? You're not going to continue like that. You're going to have a good conversation about that. In fact, that could lead to more and interesting information about maybe downsizing or other things, right? So, it is listen, sorry, don't just go to the next thing if there's something there that's going to stop you from doing that. It's a two-way dialogue. The sort of more like, how can I help, right? Is there, if, who could I connect you with, right? Those kinds of things. It's a conversation, so have it, right? Don't just jump to the next thing to get all these questions answered. It's just having a conversation regarding it. And yeah, so we're gonna kind of go through that. All right. Okay. So we're gonna do a little.
question though.
Yes,
So
Cynthia, go ahead.
is this like an icebreaker, or this
No,
is
this is just the conversation, right? This is just it is
right?
the reason to call, right?
Okay.
So I'm not sure they probably didn't go over this yet, but you will in the future. But for our sphere of influence, we are supposed to contact them 36 times a year, 36 times at least, right? There are some, it used to be 33, it's been 36 forever. Some people are at 100 now. They think it's 100 times a year, but I'll keep it to 36. Part of that 36 is 4 phone calls. You're supposed to make 4 phone calls to your sphere every year. So once a quarter, you're supposed to talk to them. So if you have nothing else to talk about, you just have this conversation, right?
Okay.
Yep.
So this is not the introduction. I'm in real estate and, would like some referrals.
No, and to be fair, I would never say that. So I would say something along the lines of somewhere in the middle of this or at the end of this is like, oh, I love this. It's been great catching up with you, right? You could even add in that you just, I just started my new real estate business. I'd love to tell you more if you ever get some time, right? If you want to meet for coffee, I'd love to take you out for some. And I have this really cool tool with Keller Williams. It's called the Neighborhood Nurture. It shows you everything that's going on in your neck of the woods. Would you like that? Like, if it's really, you'd love to see that. Perfect. Great. Let me send that to you. What's your email and your address in case I don't have them? I fill out the missing pieces in my database. I get those missing pieces. And then I can feel like, and let me just ask you this one question, real quick question. I'm looking to help 12 families this year buy or sell homes. It's one of my ultimate goals is to help 12 families. Is there anybody I can help? Who can I help? Do you know anybody? That's fine. That's great. Just keep me in mind if you think of something. But I was awesome chatting with you. Let me know what you think about the Neighborhood Nurturer. Like I'll follow up with you to see what you think about it. My company always likes to know what people's feedback are and it makes changes. It's great. So I love that. I'll talk to you in like 3 months. Right? Right? Listen, I've done this a long time, so these just roll off my tongue, but this is why we practice. So, but it's a natural conversation I slipped in real estate, but the whole thing, like this is after or somewhere in between, I've asked you about your life and who you like, how you're doing. So it's just a natural conversation. So, sometimes, a lot of times around that occupation talk, especially if you're working, if you're talking with someone maybe for the first time or really getting to know them, what's the first thing you ask? Like, if you ask them, like, oh, what do you do for a living? They're going to ask you, what do you do for a living? Right? It just naturally comes back to you. And that's where you can say it. Don't make it like salesy. You don't have to. You can just put it in the conversation. So, okay. Does that make sense? Cool. All right. So, I'd like to show you guys how this script works. Who's going to volunteer to be the person I am calling? I'd love to have someone volunteer.
I can volunteer for you.
All right, Kristen. Thank you for being my victim today.
You're welcome.
Thanks. All right, so I'm gonna give you a call. Hey, Kristen, it's been a long time since we talked. How's the family doing these days?
Oh, hi. How are you? Yeah, everybody's doing pretty well. My youngest is about ready to head off for college, so that's a big deal for us.
That's crazy. Do you know what college he's going to?
Well, he's taking a gap year, actually, and then he's going to college.
Oh, that's interesting. Are you okay with that gap year?
Yes, yes. We feel like it's going to allow him to learn a lot. So that's great.
That's awesome. I love that. Thankfully I don't have to think about college for a long time. My little one's only 8 and she's just going to 3rd grade. So I've got some time before I have to think about that. So that's
Yeah.
good. Yep. So can you where are you working now? It's been a while since we talked. I knew you were working at the I don't know, Starbucks. Where are you working somewhere new now?
No, I still have that job.
Oh, that's awesome. How's it going?
It's good. It's good. The benefits are really good. I don't like smelling like coffee every day when I get home from work, but other than that,
I don't know. I kind of like that smell. Well, that's so interesting. Yeah, there's a lot. I heard Starbucks is a really good company to work for. I mean, are you taking any vacation this year?
yeah, actually, we already took our big vacation after my son graduated from high school. We took like a celebratory vacation to Greece.
Oh, that's really cool. Greece is one of my destination.
It was wonderful. I highly recommend it.
I've always wanted to retire out there one day. It's like get a villa on one of the islands out there. That'd be so awesome.
My husband and I talked about it when we were there. Yes.
Oh yeah. So do you have a dream of sort of retiring out there one day?
Well, it sounds good on paper, but I think we came to the conclusion that we'll just stay where we are and keep working to a certain extent.
Oh, yeah, I totally get that. I mean, we need to get enough money to retire at some point. Hopefully we'll get there soon. Awesome. Yeah, I gotta say, like, so it's been great talking with you. I love hearing from you. And it's been great. Actually, I have a quick question for you. Will I have you? You have do you have a quick second?
Yeah.
So I just actually started a new position at Keller Williams. And I have this really cool tool.
great.
It's called a neighborhood nurture. It shows you sort of everything that goes on in the neighborhood. And it's like your neck of the woods, not like the whole state and the whole town. And like I know like especially for me, like there's the wrong side of the tracks and the right side of the tracks. So property values is like a huge thing. But I don't know if that's something you might interest you. I'm trying to like give that to all my friends. And was that something that you said that you might want?
Yeah, I'd love to see that actually. That sounds really interesting. Congratulations, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm
You're
super
welcome.
excited.
Yeah.
I wanted to get into real estate to start like, helping people. And one of the things I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help like 12, like my goal is to help 12 families this year. Is there anybody that I could help?
Well, I'd have to think about it. But I'm sure I'm always hearing of people either moving into the area or moving out of the area, absolutely. Like if I hear of anybody, I'll definitely keep you in mind.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. And no worries. Like, I'm always here. If you ever need anything, I've got some great ties to vendors and stuff too, which is awesome with this new position. So if you ever need anything for your home, let me know because I can get someone good for you.
Oh, that's really helpful to know. Okay.
Awesome.
I'll definitely keep that in mind.
Cool. All right. I'm going to send you that neighborhood nurture and I'll follow up you to see how much you like it. Okay.
All right. Well, thanks so much for calling. It was nice catching up with you too.
All right. Awesome. Have a good day.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Ta-da. What'd you guys think about that script?
Masterful.
Thank you for the claps. I like that. What do we like about it? How'd that feel, Michelle, on the other side? I'm sorry, not Michelle, Kristen.
Actually, it felt pretty natural, like a conversation I've really had again and again with like most people I know. So it didn't feel like that foreign to be having that conversation.
That's cool. All right. So what I want to do now is I want to break you guys up into groups and I want you guys to practice the script. Do you all have the material so that you can find the script in your book? I think it's on, oh, I have somehow lost, where is it? It's on page, hold up. Let me find the forward script, hold on. I'll tell you what page it's on. Oh, C1. C.1.
I don't have the link to the script. Is it in here? Is it in the chat?
Let me put it in.
I just dropped it in the chat again for y'all.
Awesome. Thank you, Monica.
You are welcome.
You are the best. Okay, it is on page C.4. All right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break you guys out. I'm going to put you into, what do you call them? Breakout rooms. Hold up. Let me stop my share. All right. This is where the technology thing really will make or break this class. So I'm going to break you out and I want you guys to practice the script with one another. So I want you guys to, one of you guys, yes, Gina, go ahead.
So what page is it on the guide? Because I've got like them by number on the box.
C.4.
Okay, it must be pretty far down.
It is. It's like all the way at the back. So if you do Control F or Command
Okay.
F if you're on a Mac, you'll be able to do C.4 and you'll get there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I want first, pick someone to go first, do the conversation. The other person pretends to be the person, the client they're calling. And then once you do that, we're going to switch. You're going to switch and you're going to do it back the other way. As always happens when I put people in breakout groups, you may find somebody on the other end who's not there, who's just put me on as sort of noise to fall asleep to. Which is probably difficult, I would say. So if that happens, jump out of your breakout room and then I'll put you into a different one. Okay. And then, so you might, one or two might get 3 people, which is fine, but we'll give you enough time to go through it. Does that sound good? Any questions on the exercise?
So we're basically just doing what you just did, right?
Exactly. You're just practicing with the other person in the room with you.
Okay.
Sound good?
Um,
Perfect.
I just
Yes.
clicked on the participation guide and I don't see it.
It's on page C.4, which
I
is
don't-
towards the bottom. Of the guide. So, in fact, let me just. All right, so this is what it looks like. Real estate conversations, new to real estate conversation starter, Ford. Right, you can use that one. You can use this one. You can actually choose which one you want to do. There's a few of them.
Can I see?
So C4 and C5. Okay.
Or just go to
Um,
page 324.
324. Okay.
Yeah, 324, 325 if you want actual page numbers instead of the. All right, cool. All
So
right.
how are we gonna see the breakout room then?
I'm gonna put you in them in it right now.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
But I just wanted
Thank
to
you.
see if any other questions before I put you guys in your rooms. All right, cool. Sign automatically. No. How many of you? 31. So I need 15 breakout rooms. Create. All right, hold on. This is the magic of things. If move to 14. Like I said, if someone you are partnered with is not there, just come back out and I'll put you in one, okay? All right. Here we go. And I will flash a warning on your screen when you have your time is up. Your time limit's up. Haley, Shelley, yeah, Haley, you gonna jump in a room? Oh, you're on mute.
Sorry, not able to.
Okay, it's all right, Alicia. Haley, what's up?
Thank you.
All right, so I'm gonna move to room 4. And then we're
Hi,
gonna move.
Maggie.
Yes.
I need a new room.
Okay. Hold on one second.
Thank you.
Let me see what I can do with you here. So I'm just moving some people around. We're gonna move to room 9. Okay. Move to. Move to room 3. Okay. Do. Okay, I think I got everybody in. So let's just see. All right, who needs to be moved to a different room? Okay, Gina. Move to. I'm gonna put you in room 1. Bruce, I just put you in the room with Gina going in. Hold on one second. Gina, hold on one second. I'm putting Bruce in there with you. All right. Bruce, you came out of room 1.
I had a recorder in there.
Move to room 2. All right, you're going to room 2. Gina, I'm moving you to room 7. Okay, you're in. Diana, you want a room or are you sitting out this one? Sitting out? Okay, that's fine. All right. Bruce, you good? Or should I move you somewhere? Oh, he's frozen. Breakout rooms is always so fun. Gina!
I got booted out. I joined and it sent me back out.
Hold on one second. I'm gonna keep doing this.
No one's stopped me.
I'm trying. That's all right. We're gonna get you in. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, try that one.
Right.
Did you get an invite?
Not yet. Yes.
All right, go. Go.
Right, what's happening? I clicked join and it didn't put me anywhere.
Oh, it's weird. All right, hold on. I'm
It
gonna
was
move
room
you.
2.
Yeah,
Can you try it again?
I'm gonna try somewhere else.
Oh, okay. It's room 7, join.
Yep, go. Yep. Let's see if it works.
It went away again.
Oh, what the heck? All right, fine. You want to
But
just practice?
Diana's here now. She was my original person. Do you want to put me with Diana? Or
Where was she?
we were in room 11 together initially. I've been in 11, 7, and 2. And
I think that we may just have to practice you and I together at
okay.
this part. Do you want to practice on me? Because that's
Sure.
fine. We can work with that. Perfect. As long as you don't mind.
Let me just get my script up. All right. Can I just go off the cuff, or should I really follow the conversation?
I mean,
guide?
just fall forward, right?
Yeah,
Family
okay, I
occupation
can fall
recreation
forward.
duties. Yep,
Perfect.
Yep.
Hey, Maggie.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How are the kids?
Izzy's good. She's loving camp right now.
Oh, what kind of camp is she in?
The school runs a camp all summer, so it's nice and cheap and it's close and she loves it.
Every year I do such a great job with the camps until it comes to August, and I kind of forget that August needs to be filled and it's the most desperate month. I would literally leave her like with anybody right now. I would.
Yeah, I totally feel you. Those last 2 weeks are the same for me.
Yeah, terrible, terrible. Especially since I don't know if you know, but I just recently got licensed as a real estate agent.
Oh, that's so
So
exciting.
yeah, it's exciting, but it's a lot right now, and I'm trying to like, get all my training done and talk to lots of people, and having no camp this week is really kind of a bummer.
Oh yeah, I can see that. But that's exciting news.
Yeah, I'm super happy about it. And I'm glad I got some stuff in before the work started. So did you do anything fun this summer?
Nothing like major. Went to the beach a couple times. It was good.
Nice. What's your favorite beach?
I actually live across from a lake, so the one across the street from me.
I'm not a native Rhode Islander, so that's kind of like my thing is I'm always like, are you a Bonnet person? Are you Second Beach? Are you Carson's? Where do you like to land? So yeah, and I want to just call and say hi, check in on your summer, kind of give you that update that I'm now an agent and that I'm, if you're thinking of anybody that I can help, that's kind of the reason I went into this, is to see if I could help people either downsize or find the dream home or whatever. So
Oh, that's cool. That sounds, I mean, we like helping people is a good cause. I like that.
yeah, I love it. I'm super excited about it. And I've moved 17 times, so I feel that it gives me a unique qualification to
It does.
to help. Yep.
My
I've got
God.
great tips on how to pack the boxes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, absolutely. You know how to put them just right.
Well, if you think of anybody, or you yourself, just, we're connected on social, just drop me a DM or pass someone along, or even if there's someone that just wants to hear about how the market's going these days and wants to have an informal chat, I'm always available.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks, Maggie.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Cool.
How was that?
It was pretty good. I would say at the back end, like leave room for leave room for calling again, right? Set
Okay.
up something to like whatever to follow up with or call again, like say like, oh, it was great catching
Okay.
up. I'd love to do this again sometime. You want to meet for coffee? Like the
Can you grab a
anything.
coffee when the kids go back to
Yeah.
school, or
Right, yeah. Like something
Okay.
to kind of wrap it up with like, hey, I enjoyed our conversation so much. I would like to talk to you again, right? It just kind of keeps that relationship going.
Okay.
Some reason to reach out again, whether it's you've gave them something of value, you want to follow up with it, or you just want to see them again or talk to them again, like see how
Okay.
things are going, right? And it depends on the hints that they drop in the conversations too, right? If something momentous is happening, like, oh, I can't wait to talk to you about how that went, or like, those kinds
Yeah.
of things, there's many reasons to kind of work with that. So,
Okay.
let me actually just put a message in to everybody, say, please, if you haven't switched yet, Please do. All right. I like my favorite is the have you really moved 14 times?
17.
17.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And
Boy,
I'm not in the military, and I don't even know anyone in the military. Yeah, just yeah.
yeah, okay. I
Mm.
mean, that's so funny because I thought my parents were movers because they've moved like 6 times. And so we like have a joke of it, but 17.
17 years. My older daughter said to me today, "How come you don't keep any of those old clothes that you had?" I'm like, "Because I've moved so many times, I just get rid of everything." I'm like, yeah.
I guess it's a good way to get rid of stuff.
Yeah, it's a good way to keep it light.
See, I always have this thing because I moved around a lot as a kid, and so I was never more in any place more than 7 years.
Yeah.
So like, this is the longest I've ever been in a place because my kiddo's 8 and we haven't moved since I moved when I was like 7 months pregnant with her. And so like I'm getting antsy. I've got like the
You're
like
gonna go, yeah.
yeah. So we're doing a renovation instead.
It's a good way to keep it fresh.
Yeah. Cool. Betty, Michelle, you're back. We're gonna give them like 2 more minutes to finish up their conversation, then we'll bring them all back. I'll give them the 1-minute warning. Crazy.
Is everyone in the class pretty much new, or are there kind of varying levels of expertise?
For the most part, I mean, Ignite really is for new or sort of relaunching agents. Like I think Betty, you mentioned you've been in it for a little while, but now you're ready to like, let's go, right? So, and to be fair, it's not bad for a top like someone who's been in the business, even if they're producing, to take this class. Sometimes, especially some of the people I've talked to, need a refresher. Or just like new skills, or just sort of like, I need to relearn this, right? It's sort of the reason why people take Bold. I don't know if you guys have heard of Bold in your market centers yet. But people take it because it's like a boot camp, right? It's sort of, real estate is all about the basics. You have to master the basics. And we do, even we've been in the how do you women ordering? Even when we've been in it for a long time, we tend to forget them and leave those behind because we're so busy doing other things. And we see that in our business, like our business can suffer from that. And so people need a sort of a reset to go back to, hey, I got to lead generate every single day and do the things I'm supposed to be doing instead of running around like a chicken with a head cut off, right? So it really is important to go back to those basics. All right, so if I close all the rooms, is it going to close the rooms or is it going to give a 1-minute warning? We will find out. Okay, good. So they're getting a 60-second. Fantastic. It's been a while since I've done breakout rooms. Oh my God. My cat is meowing at the door because the door is shut. I see a puppy. Oh, cutie. What's the puppy's name?
Wesley.
Wesley. Love it.
Yes.
He looks like a Wesley.
He likes to sit next to me. Lay down.
60 seconds is a long time.
Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down.
Oh, I was supposed to press the button. I wonder why it was taking longer than 60 seconds. New Zoom, who dis? We're not going to remind anybody that I'm the tech trainer. All right, people are beginning to come back. All breakout rooms. People are still smiling. It's good. 20 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Fantastic. All right.
Now that
everybody's-
was fun.
Oh, good. It sounds like
That-
Cheryl had a good time.
I'm sorry. I'm a person that has to be involved, or it's going to be, and it's not you. It's just late. But those people were fun, Connor and Michelle.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
So
I
are we
had
going to
Veronica. I loved the conversation. It was really, we were still going. You pulled us in.
Yes, us,
Oh,
us too.
sorry.
We did too.
All right, cool. So how was that? Give me some ahas from that practice.
I think sometimes just being your natural self and not thinking you have to do a script or certain questions, I think is easier, because I think that we get wrapped up in thinking about it too much, and just be who you are. And I feel like, and then usually by the end of the conversation, real estate comes up, or what you're doing by the end. So I feel like not maybe starting with that, but maybe ending with it, or even in the middle is good, but kind of just starting with it is really kind of like uncomfortable.
Yeah, I would definitely say don't start the conversation with, hey, I'm in real estate. Yeah, the somewhere in the middle is better for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think too,
Or
it's
end.
okay to fumble over your words. It's okay to navigate and read the conversation and read the person, and then find a way, secretly that you're freaking out inside, but you're still coming up with a sense of humor.
I love that.
I think what I learned is I genuinely cared and was interested to learn about Veronica. And I typically, if I'm say meeting somebody new, I try to take notes. But I was so intrigued by the conversation that I didn't have to take notes, and I still remember, a lot of. Now I may take notes now that the conversation is over, right? So that we don't forget. But that, it was a really great conversation, and I think someone said it best, where you don't have to follow a specific script. It felt very natural to go through the progression of what we're talking about, and really learning about Veronica was awesome. I loved it.
Cool.
You can tell my challenges to people.
Yeah.
You can share them.
Awesome. All right. So, this is why I love this script, this conversation, because it is so natural. It just leads to great conversations, getting to know the person a little better, good notes to take for next time, right? And you can work in somewhere along the line, hey, I'm also looking for business, but you do it in a way that's not like, hey, starting off with a conversation that way. Like, it's just part of the conversation. So I think it's a really great script. And so what I like to do, because we're coming to the end here, last 4 minutes, so I just want to wrap us up for today with use this, right? We know we're supposed to have these conversations every single day, right? From now on, no excuses. Like, at least one. I want one out of all of you tomorrow, right? At least. And I promise no one will die, right? Just have a conversation. And if you want to practice on someone have it with someone right? Sometimes that helps people get over it. I know some people who absolutely hate calling people they know, which is crazy. So, find someone you can do it with that you're going to be comfortable with. And so, just start having these, and you're going to feel better about these conversations as you go. And so that'll be really good. And if you need even a little more help, I will give you a little tip and trick. If you're calling someone, if you are Facebook friends with them or Instagram friends, pop it open, see what they've done recently, and you can have a conversation about that. That's a good reference point. That's a good tip for these kinds of calls. So I challenge all of you tomorrow, at least make one phone call, if not more. All right.
I have a question.
Yes.
So the three of us in our group, we actually really liked using the Keller Nurture for find out what's going on in your neighborhood.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, we liked that line, but we're all like, how do we find more out actually about that so we can actually provide that service?
It's funny. You will learn about that in this class.
Okay.
But let me link you. Hold on. Answers. Let me link you an article about how to start a smart plan. How to start neighborhood nurture. Here we go. Here, because we will get to that. One of the sessions is going to talk about that. But that is an answers article that goes step by step. If you haven't yet, add yourself to the neighborhood nurture so you understand how it works and what it looks like and all that other fun stuff. But yes, that's a great little tool. It's honestly, when I teach new agents, the first script, that's the first thing I have, either that or the mobile app, either one, because it's just an easy offer. So, and that way you get your missing pieces too, because most people don't have an email or an address. They have a phone number, but not the other two, and it gets you both those things. So it helps with your adding to your database. Cool. All right. Any last questions? Cool. Was this good for you guys? Was this a good episode? Cool. All right.
It was.
Awesome.
Great,
All
thank
right.
you.
Good luck out there.
It was a good Netflix.
Good Netflix.
episode.
Yeah. Make sure you thumbs up it. Cool. All right, guys. We'll see you for the next episode. Tune in for tomorrow.
Thank you, Maggie. Thank you.
Thanks
Have
for
a
your
good night,
time.
everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Maggie.